Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 21 of the Walk with Ethan Hockey Podcast. I'm your host, Ethan Black. And today we're going to talk about the uh, first round of the NHL Draft, as well as a lot of trades that happened over the past week. I know the draft was a week ago, but I've been crazy just with work and uh, had candidate this past Wednesday, so I have to play candidate to all of my Canadian listeners, and happy 4th of July to all of my American listeners. So episode 21 is just gonna be the first round in the trades, and then on the season finale, episode 22, we'll talk about Browns 2 for 7. So let's just always anything, we'll just jump into it. So we're gonna start with the trades before we get into the first round. So and these are not gonna be in order, by the way. I'm just gonna kind of go backwards. Uh so we'll start with July 2nd. If I do miss it, I do apologize, but this is what I just had saved to my social media. So Calgary, Minnesota had a trade. This is from July 2nd. Calgary gets defenseman Jake Middleton, as well as a 2027 third round pick, 2028 fourth round, and a 2029 second round pick. While Minnesota, they get defenseman Olive Matata. I do apologize if I butcher his name. And forwards Blake Coleman. Then on July 1st, we had Detroit and Vegas make a trade. Detroit will get forward Keegan Kolsar. Well, Vegas Golden Knights get a 2027 seventh round pick and a 2029 third round. Also on July 1st, we had New York and Utah make a trade. Utah will get Vincent Trocheck. Well, New York Rangers still get defenseman Sean Thursday and forward Cole Bidudon and a 2027 third round pick. And as a conditional pick. And Vincent Trocheck is a forward, by the way. Also on July 1st, we had Edmonton Oilers and San Jose Sharks make a trade. Edmonton, they'll get defensemen Zach Sharp and Sakir Dolan. Again, do apologize if I butcher his last name. And San Jose will get defenseman Darnell Nurse. Also, July 1st, New York Rangers and Boston Bruins making a trade. New York Rangers will get Jonas Korsbo, while Boston Bruins get Kale Fousen and a 2028 fourth round draft pick. Also, on July 1st, we had Tampa Bay and Toronto making a trade. Toronto will get forward Nick Paul, while Tampa Bay Lightning, they'll get goalie Dennis Hillby and 2 draft picks, 2027 fourth round and a 2028 third round. Edmonton was busy on Canada as they did a trade with Buffalo. Buffalo will get a 2028 third round pick, while Edmonton will get a 7th round pick for the 2028 draft and Devin Levy a goalie. So then on June 30th, Pittsburgh and Vegas making trades. Pittsburgh, they get defenseman Caden Karsak, while Vegas gets Parker Witherspoon, a defenseman. So some player trades here. Florida Panthers and Vegas also making trades on June 29th. Florida, they will get goalie Akira Schmidt, while Vegas will get a third round pick in the 2028 draft. Florida and New Jersey making a trade also on June 30th. Florida was busy on this day. Florida will get forward Angus Crookshank and goalie Jacob Marshall. Marshall going back to Florida Panthers. While New Jersey, they'll get 3 forwards. They'll get Evan Rodriguez, Jesper Boza, and Ben Steve. So that's the 3 players there. Utah, Montreal making a trade on June 29th. Utah will get forward Joshua Roy, while Montreal Canadiens will get goalie Massimo and Suber. Also on June 29th, Vancouver and Nashville making a trade. Vancouver gets a 2029 third round pick from Nashville and Nils Hoglander going to Nashville, and he is a forward, I believe. I'm not 100% sure. Also on June 20th, Anaheim and Anaheim make a trade. So AJ Gear is a forward going to Anaheim. Well, defenseman Rego Guez is going back to Florida Panthers there. And then on June 27th, Anaheim and Carolina making a trade. Carolina gets defenseman John Carlson, while Anaheim gets defenseman Kyle Mash in 2026 6th round pick. But I think he's gone to Philadelphia now, I believe. That's the rumor. And then June 27th, Toronto and St. Louis making a trade. St. Louis will get defenseman Brian Carlo, while Toronto gets a 2026 third round picks. And that was before the draft. And a lot of these were before the draft. So, or during the the draft, which we'll get to in a few minutes. Also on June 26th, we had Utah and Detroit making a trade. Utah will get Sebastian Costa, the goalie, while Detroit gets a 23rd pick in the 2026 first round. Montreal and New York make a trade. Also June 26th, New York will get William Trudeau, and he's defenseman, and Montreal will get forward Brett Bedard. Also June 26th, Boston and Utah make a trade. Utah gets a 23rd pick in the 2026 first round pick. That obviously went to Detroit, and a conditional pick in first round for the 2028 draft. Well, Boston will get forward JJ Paterka. There we go. I almost butchered that last name. June 26th. Well, Mason McTavish getting traded to St. Louis, and Anaheim gets 2 first round picks of this year's draft, picks number 15 and 29. I think they trade those before, but again, we'll get to the draft in a couple minutes. A lot of these were before the draft. So New York and Vegas making a trade. So New York gets 4 Pavel Dorov. Well, Vegas gets a number 26 first round pick, 2028 first round conditional pick, and a 2026 third round pick. Ottawa Senators and Chicago Blackhawks making a trade. So Ottawa will get forward Andre Burakovsky, while Chicago gets Chicago gets a 2027 6th round pick. There we go. I misread that. And then Toronto and Ottawa making a trade on June 26th as well. Ottawa will get goalie Samuel Ersson, while Toronto gets a 5th round 2027 pick. June 26th, Anaheim Buffalo make a trade, so Buffalo will get defenseman Olin Zellweger, while Anaheim gets forward Antoine Wahlberg and a 2nd round pick of this year's draft. June 25th, Montreal and Columbus making a trade. Forward Luke Touch going to Columbus, and forward Hunter McCall is going to Montreal. And then on June 25th, New Jersey and Washington making a trade. Declan Chesson going to New Jersey. Washington a 2027 4th round pick. Detroit and New Jersey making a trade on June 25th. Detroit gets a 4th round pick in this year's draft, and New Jersey gets Anders Labradi. And then Colorado Columbus making a trade also on June 25th. Colorado gets 3 draft picks this year for the 2nd round, which the draft already happened because I'm recording on 4th of July. A 2027 3rd round pick and a 2028 5th round pick. Well, Columbus gets forward Fedor Nishkin. Again, do apologize for butchering that. Florida and Philadelphia make a trade on June 25th. Florida will get forward Garnett Hathaway and a 2026 6th round pick, which we'll get to the draft picks in a few minutes. Well, the first round. And Philadelphia receives 2 picks this year in the 5th round and next year in the 4th round. June 24th, Buffalo, Washington making. They made a trade. Okay, make sure I read that right. So Alex Hutch is leave Buffalo and going to Washington. So that is actually kind of great. And a 3rd round pick will go to Buffalo. And then Florida and Seattle on June 21st making a trade. Florida will get number 25 pick in this year's draft and a conditional pick for the 2nd round of next year. While Seattle gets a forward Mackie Samo Sketch. I do apologize if I butcher. I'm just going to say Samo just to be safe. Oh, this was on Father's Day. That's what it was. So on Father's Day, we had that was and the other one also Florida and Ottawa make a trade. Ottawa will get 2 first round picks of this year's draft, picks number 9 and 25, 2027 2nd round pick, and a 2029 conditional 1st round. And Florida will get for the former captain of Ottawa Senators, Brady Tkachuk, so he'll join his brother in the Panthers. June 23rd, Calgary and New Jersey make a trade. New Jersey will get defenseman Anton Morin, 2026 2nd round pick, 2027 and 28 1st round conditional picks. While Calgary will get forward Maxim Taxpiklov and defenseman Simon Nemec. June 23rd, Ottawa and San Jose making a trade. San Jose get number 9 pick of the 1st round of this year's draft. While Ottawa gets 3 forwards, William Eklund, Casper Holliton, and Brandon Zabata. Also, June 23rd, St. Louis and Washington making a trade. St. Louis will get forwards Milton Gastrin and Carmen McMichael. And the 16th pick of the 1st round of the 2026 draft. And Jordan Kyrou, who is a forward, is going to the Washington Capitals. Also, June 23rd, Buffalo and Chicago making a trade. Chicago gets forward Jordan Greenway and defenseman Bowen Barham, while Buffalo gets defenseman Lewis Carrier, and 2026 second round pick and number 4 pick in this year's draft, first round. Then on June 24th, Nashville and Colorado. Oh, I just lost that one there. They did make a trade, but unfortunately it just crashed on me, so I can't say who it was. But back to Colorado and Columbus on June 25th. Colorado gets 3 round picks, 2028. Oh, I already talked about that one. It looks like a double bookmark by accident. So I believe that is all the draft picks we have. Oh, well, the trades. As of right now, if there's more, need that for now. So end this episode, we'll go talk about the first round, and then, like I said, on episode 20, the season finale, we'll talk about rounds 2 through 7. All right, so first round. So we're just gonna go in order, just go by each how the teams picked. So for the first round, so the order went Toronto, San Jose, Vancouver, Buffalo. This is the update list. I know I can't remember what teams trade each pick. So the list I got here, thanks to Puck Report NHL on Twitter. We're just gonna go how they had it. So the order went Toronto, San Jose, Vancouver, Buffalo, New York Rangers, Calgary, Seattle, Winnipeg, San Jose again, Nashville, St. Louis, New Jersey, New York Islanders, Columbus, Anaheim, and say that's picks 1 for 16. So picks 17 for 32. It went Utah, Washington, LA, Buffalo, San Jose, Pittsburgh, Detroit, Vancouver, Ottawa, Montreal, Philadelphia, Anaheim, Vegas, Calgary, Nashville, and then Ottawa. So what I do is I might just go any teams more than one pick. I might just go there. So Toronto, they got the first round over, and to surprise on nobody, forward Gavin McKenna is going to the Maple Leafs. So pick number 2 went to San Jose. So they had picks 2, 9, and 21. So I'm just gonna combine them. So their first pick they picked for Ivan Steinberg, and then they went down to the 9th pick. They went defenseman Keaton Fedorov, and then on pick number 21 they went defenseman Ryan Lynn. So there's the San Jose ones. Vancouver's they had picks 3 and 24. So for the third pick they went with forward Caleb Matora, and in the for their 24th pick in the first round they went with forward Adam Notini. Buffalo Sabre only had picks 4 and 20. Just double checking. Yep. Okay, perfect. So pick number 4 they went defenseman Dax Rudolph, and pick number 20 went for Ilya Morozov. Pick number 5 went to New York Rangers, and they only had the 1, and they went with Albert Smits. Not surprised, honestly, that he was in the top 5. Obviously, I meant to make predictions, but I had him in the top, going in the first 10. So Calgary's had pick 6 and 30. So pick number 6, they picked defenseman Carlson Krells, and in pick number 30, they went with forward Jack Hexall. And then so Seattle only had looks like just only 1 in this round for number 7, and they went with defenseman Chase Reed. When Pitchx was up next, they picked for Figo Bojaric. And then I already went over San Jose's picks, so we'll go down to Nashville. They had picks 10 and 31. So pick number 10, they have forward Wild Condon, and number 31, they went with defenseman Ty Bell, who played for Moncton Wildcats. I personally seen Tommy Bell play. He's actually a really good player. So in the QMJHL. So congratulations to Todd Bedell for the Moncton Wildcats advancing, going to the Nashville Predators. St. Louis, they had picks number 11, 16, and that's it. So for they picked for Tyron Lawrence, and their other pick for 16 was for Maddox DeGallis. New Jersey only had the 1. That was they picked forward Alex Command. New York Islanders were up next. They picked defenseman Mateo Gustafson. Columbus Blue Jays for number 14 were for Oscar Hemming. Anaheim Duck had picks 15 and 28. So they went with forward Nikita Lepkapa for 15. And their 28th pick the 28th pick in the first round, they went with for Marcus Nordmark. No, and I already went over St. Louis. So Utah only had one in this first round. They had number 17. They went with for Ethan Belches. Washington Capitals only had one in this first round. They went number 18 for Oliver Santino. And again, a lot of these names I keep apologizing. I know, but I always feel bad for pronouncing people's last names wrong, so I do apologize. LA Kings only one pick in the first round. No, pick number 19 went for Elton Hammerson. We already talked about Buffalo and San Jose, so we're going down to they had picks 2021. So number 22 went to Pittsburgh Penguins, and they picked for Liam Ruck. Detroit went number 23, picked forward JP Hurlbert. We already talked about Vancouver, number 24. So Ottawa had picks 25 and 32 in the first round. So pick number 25, they went with forward Jonas Larbark Hennon. And the 32nd and final pick of the first round, they went with forward Jackson Cover. Montreal Canadiens had only one pick in the first round. They went with forward Jila Pechikov. Philadelphia had pick number 27. They went to forward defenseman Matt Skalowski. Anaheim, we went over. They had picked number 28. Vegas went number 29. They picked defenseman Jero Pepperin. Calgary, we already talked about because when they hit the 6th pick, went over the 30th pick. Nashville, we already talked about 30, and Ottawa, we just mentioned. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is the episode for this week. I'll be back. I'll probably be back later today to record episode 22, and we'll go over the rest of the draft picks, rounds 2 through 7. So have a good week, guys, and stay safe.